Hello all. Let's see a simple program to generate a factorial of a given number using recursion. So here let's define function fact of n. Here n is the integer for which we need to calculate the factorial. So here we'll check for the condition. If n is equal to 0, then we'll straight away return 1, because the factorial 0 factorial is 1. Else in all other cases n is a positive integer. If n is greater than 0, then we'll return n star fact of n minus 1. Here so let me explain this logic with a simple example. Suppose we want to calculate the factorial of n, factorial of 5. Then the logic to calculate the factorial of a number is n star, n minus 5 star, 4 star, 3 star, 2 star, and finally 1. So this is how we calculate the factorial of a number. So starting from n, we'll be calculating the product by reducing it by 1, n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, and so on. So we are applying the same logic here to calculate the factorial of a number using recursion. So n star fact of n minus 1. So suppose if n is 5, so we are returning n 5 star fact of 4. So this will be so in the next iteration, so fact of n will be 4. So it will check whether if n is 0 or is 0 or not. Since here n is 4, this condition will not be satisfied and it will come to else block. So it will return again 4 star fact of n minus 1, which is 3. So now n is 3, fact of 3. It again calls this function, and n is not 0, so it returns to else block. It comes to else block, and now it returns 3 star fact of 2. Now n is 2, so since n is non-zero, it returns to else block again, and it returns n star fact of 1, n star fact of 1, and again this is not satisfied. This condition is not met. It comes to else block and it returns 1 star fact of 1 minus 1, which is 0. Now n is 0, fact of 0. So now we are calculating fact of 0. Since now it checks this condition, if n is 0, now since n is equal to 0, this condition is satisfied, it returns 1. So in this way we'll be calculating the factorial of a number using recursion. Since here the function is calling itself, so within that function we are again calling the same function. So this is called recursion. So this is a simple program logic to calculate the factorial of a number using recursion. And besides logic, so since we are returning since this function is returning some value, we have to store the value in a variable. So let's take the variable f, and we'll be calling the function here fact of n, fact of a number. So here number is it can be any given number. So let's generalize it by taking the input value from the keyboard, like int of input of enter the number. So here we are taking the input from the keyboard from the user. This is input function is used to take the user input at runtime, and since it should be an integer, we are passing it to the integer function. We are converting it to string value to the integer. This is a typecasting, we can say. So the result will be an integer that would be stored in num, and when we are calling fact of num, so it returns the value. This function returns a value, and that would be stored in f. So finally we have to print the value of f, which is the result, that is the factorial of the given number. And let's execute this. Let's execute. Let's try this. So python factorial.py. So this will ask you to enter the number, enter in the 5, so which is 120. See, here we can see the factorial of 5 is 5 4 20 20 star 6, which is 120, which is equal to 120. So he got the result here. So let's check with some other integer. Factorial of 25. Let's calculate the factorial of 25. This is the value for the factorial of 25. So in this way we can write a program to generate the factorial of a given number, non-zero number, using recursion. So this is most widely used, most commonly asked interview questions when you're going for automation testing using Python program. Yeah. So let's see another program in our next video. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.